Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
The following program is paid for by Learfield Bobcat Sports Properties.
On the Bobcat Sports Network from Learfield, this is Cat Chat with Matt Logie and Tricia Binford, presented by Montana's Rib and Chop House. Here's the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gillogly.
All right, hello, and welcome live to Cat Chat. We are at Montana's Rib and Chop House. We got a great show for you today. Combined 3-in-1 week for men's and women's basketball. So we're going to dive into that. We've got head coach Matt Logie with us. We're going to talk to head coach Tricia Binford a little bit later. Our guests today will be Jed Miller on the men's side. Marah Dykstra will be joining us today. And Jaeden Wolff from track will be here today as well. So we got a packed show as we settle in and close out the month of January. I'm Keaton Gillogly along with the head coach Matt Logie. Coach, how we doing? How we feeling?
Doing great. Glad to be back in Bozeman.
Yeah, no doubt. And here we are at the end of January. I feel like the entire world feels like January is like 8 years long. But from a coaching and basketball perspective, I assume it flies by.
Yeah, snap your fingers, and all of a sudden our next game's in February, and here we are almost at the midway point of conference play.
Right, and here we are with a 5-3 record in Big Sky play. We've had some highs, we've had some lows, but overall 5-3 in conference, sitting a half game back of that number 2 seed. I don't know, where do you feel like you are right now?
Well, I think we're getting better at a faster pace than anybody else in the conference, and that's what I'm most excited about. Is we've been pointing all year long towards how good could we be in March, and obviously all these games matter for seeding and whatnot. But the product that they're putting out on the floor now compared to a month or 2 months ago is wildly different, and I'm really proud of that.
Yeah. Now, when you were putting together this roster, which we've talked about before during this show, but was there like a kind of a moment where it's like, all right, we're done. Like, this is our finalized roster. Was that like kind of a moment, or was it a little more gradual than that?
Once we got the 13th scholarship filled, that was it. Yeah.
Okay. Were you like running down the hallways, like high-fiving, like, okay, we did it?
Well, yeah. I mean, yes and no. We were drinking from a fire hose. So went up for air, and then you start planning your summer workouts, and you got to get everybody on campus and into the dorms and apartments and moved in, and so there really wasn't a lot of time to celebrate. We just had to keep our nose down and work.
Right. So when you did finally get that 13th scholarship out and the roster is set, how different is this team today versus the expectations you had when you did look at those guys on the roster?
I think we're starting to see, the best versions of guys come out. I think if you look at it from a holistic perspective, it's different in the sense that Patrick McMahon was going to be a big part of this puzzle, a very talented player that really showed that throughout the summer. And so when we lost him, there was kind of a reset, to figuring out, okay, how do we do this without this versatile scorer, defender, playmaker, passer. But when you look at somebody like Robert Ford in the season that he's having, he's gone above and beyond even what I pictured and imagined in the summer. Brian Garacki as well. Brandon Walker has had, just an extremely efficient, conference play. And we're starting to see guys like Sam Leck-a-lot come on. And so it's been highly rewarding to see that growth and see guys step into the fray and ring the bell.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Rob Ford's week. What a monster week he did have. He's on a stretch now of like 6 or 7 games where he's averaging 19 points a game, shooting over 50% from the field, over 40% from three. He's now number 4 on the single season list in steals. He just passed Darius Brown, who had 60 steals last year. So he's up past Darius Brown now, which has been so much fun to watch. And he was playing great in Portland in front of his hometown crowd, in front of his friends and family. And unfortunately, that game didn't finish the way we wanted to. But just watching him play in front of his friends, his family, and playing inspired like that, man, it was a lot of fun as he threw up those 26 points.
Yeah, it was special to see that because, I know what that meant for him. I didn't anticipate him being able to take as quickly as he has to some of the things that we teach, shooting in particular. He has made such a big jump as a shooter in the 8 months that we've been with him. It's really opened up a lot of other parts to his game, and then he's been so coachable in terms of learning our terminology and leading with not just the passion that everybody sees, but also the poise and the ability to keep his teammates calm. He's just he's been phenomenal and one of my all-time favorite guys to coach.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that stands out about his character too is after fouling out at Portland State in the final minute, he didn't just sit on the bench. He didn't just go mope at the end of the bench. He was still up. He was still clapping. He was still directing, and it looked like he was still pretty vocal there.
Well, that's what Rob does. Rob's a competitor, and this team has taken on his spirit. And every time we fall down, we bounce up, and we bounce up with that Rob Ford spirit. So I think that's what makes Bobcat Nation special. I think our fans and our community can see that, and it's been just a joy to have that. Be such a integral part of building the foundation of this next chapter.
The other thing I want to talk about a little bit is some defense in that Sacramento State game. So, 62 points allowed at Sac State in the 70-62 win. That was a season low allowed in Big Sky play. And for Brian Garacki, his defense this year I think has been really fascinating to watch. How many different guys has he guarded? I just feel like he has guarded so many different dudes. Duncan Powell for Sac State is an absolute beast. He's a big-bodied guy. We saw him guarding St. Thomas, who was named Player of the Week again and is in contention for Player of the Year. Just how many different styles have you had to put Brian Garacki on defensively this year?
Yeah, that's the thing. Brian is a guy that we play as a forward, or a four-man, but that means he has to defend power forwards on the other side, and so he's constantly going to be at a size disadvantage against guys like Powell or the guys at Idaho State and whatnot. But we have a plan for that, and there's some principles that we apply that we try to take advantage of defensively to offset that size disadvantage, and because we feel like the offensive advantage that he gives us with space on the floor and shooting the basketball the way that he does is worth a little bit more, and that has to do with the three-point line. And I think for the most part, when we've faced up against those bigger, powerful teams, even when he's gotten in foul trouble, the margins have come out in our favor.
Yeah, now the foul trouble has been a little bit of a story here for Garacki over really the last 3 games now. Ran into a little bit of it at Portland State, too. What are you seeing in that? Is there something that he can kind of just tweak, or is it just a little bad luck right now?
A little bad luck.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave it at that then. But that does lead me into another question. With Portland State, there were 5 technicals in this game, and nobody's going to sit here and blame the rest for how that game finished off. But, one question that I have been asked is, Do you guys get any feedback from maybe the league office or any officials, and just how you can coach your players and say, hey, this is something that we can't do, we want to make sure we're not doing? So do you get any feedback when maybe you have some questioning of how things were officiated?
Well, I think one of the things that the officiating community kind of does annually is come out with a point of emphasis. It's been different things in different years of my coaching career. Sometimes it was, for a while there was hand checks. You couldn't hand check anybody, and then for a while it was, walling up at the rim and the block charge. Well, this year they said going into it they were really going to crack down on, I guess what people would consider taunting and things of that nature, and in some form and fashion, I totally agree with that. There's not a place for not being classy, but these are also college kids that make big plays and get really excited, and there's passion involved, and so I think everyone's trying to find that balance. I think that's about as much as the feedback that I can see or read into it. It's a much better investment of my time to figure out how we can get our team better.
Yeah, no doubt. No question about that. So, tight loss there. Great game against Sacramento State, and now we're gearing up for a really great test on Thursday. Eastern Washington is coming into town. They won the regular season, beating Montana State out by just a game last year, even though the Cats and Eagles split the two meetings. They ended up having an early exit out of the Big Sky tournament, but they're rolling right now. They are undefeated in the Big Sky. They're an interesting team in the way they're built. I feel like they're just built with like 5 wings who all are the same size. Is that what you're seeing when you're scouting this team?
Yeah. They have really invested over the years in length and shooting, and so they don't really have a traditional point guard. They do play one currently who doesn't score a whole lot, but kind of sets the table for their other shooters. And they've kind of had this recipe for a while now that's been working for them. And so, you're going to have a team coming in here that's playing really hot. They have not lost to a non-high major team all year, which is, pretty impressive. And so, hopefully we can pack the brick and bring that passion and that excitement on Thursday night and, see what happens.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's Military Appreciation Night as well on Thursday. So if you have your military ID, you can get in for free in that game. All right, Coach, we got Jed Miller coming up next, but appreciate the time and the insight today, and looking forward to this weekend at home.
Absolutely. Go Cats.
All right, head coach Matt Logie. We're taking a break from the Ribbon Chop House. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
For every adventure and every mishap, Bozeman Health provides expert, personalized care to each person, going well beyond traditional health care. We're your partner in health and well-being, working together for your day-to-day and the decades to come. With care sites in Belgrade, Big Sky, and Bozeman, and with the only hospitals in the Gallatin Valley, Bozeman Health keeps your care close to home. Find a Bozeman Health provider today at bozemanhealth.org.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
Are you craving more Bobcat basketball action? Join us every Tuesday night at the Rib and Chop House in Bozeman for the ultimate MSU basketball experience. Coaches Matt Logie and Tricia Binford are ready to spill the beans on all things Bobcat basketball. Plus, catch the inside scoop from new student-athlete guests each week. Don't miss out on an exclusive behind-the-scenes look into the Bobcat program. We've got exciting prizes, delicious food, and a chance to interact with the coaches. It all tips off at 6:30 every Tuesday at the Rib and Chop House. Cheer on our Cats and make it a night to remember.
You are a Bobcat fan, and your seat matters. Section 108, right in the middle, and a perfect view of the fast break, alley-oop, and slam dunk. At Kendall Ford of Bozeman, we're a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Where you sit matters, as in the driver's seat. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land-grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
With friendly customer service and an outstanding location near Montana State University in the base of the Bridger Mountain Range, Country Inn & Suites by Radisson is the perfect place to begin your Bozeman adventure. Country Inn & Suites offers a hot and delicious Be Our Guest breakfast buffet each morning. Free Wi-Fi is available throughout the property, and we have a business center and meeting rooms. Our indoor pool and hot tub is a great way to relax after a day of fun, and the on-site fitness center will keep your workout goals on track. We have spacious king and double queen suites with a full-size sleeper sofa available, and every room in Country Inn & Suites is smoke-free. Reserve your room today.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Are back at Montana's Rib and Chop House for another edition of Cat Chat. At Montana's Rib and Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you. I'm Keaton Gillogly, joined by Jed Miller. Jed, how we doing? How we feeling?
Doing pretty good.
Good. Yeah, happy to have you along today. Did you get an order in yet? You know what you're getting?
Yeah, I got the Chop House burger. Just kept it simple.
Okay. Yeah. Is that usually your go-to? You're just kind of a simple guy when you order food on the road?
Usually I probably get some steak, but I decided to take it easy tonight.
Okay. Yeah. We don't want not too much steak. There's just the right amount of steak to have.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, there's some great food here, so if you're driving around and listening on the radio, pop by the Rib and Chop House. We're here every Tuesday, and we're giving away a lot of free stuff during the commercial breaks. We've got some T-shirts behind me that we'll be giving away a little bit later. We got a $30 gift card that we're giving away, and there's actually a jersey right behind us that everybody who is a guest has signed and will continue to sign as the season progresses. So cool little thing we've got here at the Rib and Chop House. But Jed, second year, sophomore, coming up from Southern California. How are you settling in this year? How's the season going for you?
It's going really well. I really like the transition. It's been a lot, but I really like the coaching staff here and the guys they brought in. I feel like we're still putting everything together, and our best basketball is yet to be played.
Yeah. What was that first meeting like when Coach Logie came through? There's so much questions, and Sprinkle's gone. Who's going to transfer? What's this going to be? Finally, Sprinkle's gone, and he's at Utah State, and Logie's here. What was that first meeting and conversation like?
I was definitely pretty excited. I feel like I had my freshman year in the past, and I was ready to build a new relationship with the new coach. A little nervous for sure. I didn't really know anything about him, but it was mostly excitement, and I was excited to hear what his plan was for our team and the program.
Yeah, what was his plan? What did he lay out early?
He said he wanted to play fast. He loves to shoot threes. My style of play goes really well with his system, and he had some dudes that he already knew he was bringing in.
Right. Well, one of those dudes is Brian Garacki, who's been quite a beast so far this year. What's it like watching him? I mean, a D2 kid coming up, and he's having a great year.
Yeah, Brian, he's impressed me. I didn't really expect this from him. And Raekwon last year was probably one of the most athletic guys I had seen. But if you watch Brian in warm-ups, it's almost identical. He's also a really good shooter. He kind of does it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Rob Ford is a guy who you were a teammate with last year. Now he's doing it all again this year. He's averaging like 9 rebounds a game. He's got 20 points a game over the last month. Tell me about this transition you're seeing from Rob Ford this year.
Yeah, Rob's impressed me too. I mean, last year he was backup point guard behind Darius, and he would come in the game, and his job was just hustle plays and like take care of the ball for the most part. And now this year he stepped into the scoring role, the leadership role. Somehow our leading rebounder. I mean, I don't know how he does it. He's really hard to guard in practice, hard to box him out. He's a really good player, and I think he's going to help us a lot in this postseason.
Yeah, well, and he's already number 4 on the single-season list in steals this year, just past what Darius did last year, who was the defensive player of the year in the Big Sky. You go up against him in practice. What is it? How does he get in there?
He picks you out full court. He gives you little pushes here and there, and I give a lot of credit to him. he's probably the reason why I feel so comfortable handling the ball. Nobody really pressures me like Rob does. I mean, he's small, but he's really quick and physical.
Yeah, so he knows how to get that little push in without the ref seeing it, because he's really, yes, he fouled out at Portland, but he's really stayed out of foul trouble for most of the year. Yeah. The other thing I've seen him doing is like communicating specifically to Eddie Turner about like kind of coming up underneath to steal the ball rather than whacking down. Is that what he does? Does he come up underneath?
Yeah, especially when you grab a rebound. Even like if it's me or if it's Brandon Walker, it doesn't matter what position, Rob's probably underneath you trying to poke the ball up.
You're right.
Probably somewhere there.
Yeah, well, and that kind of avoids some of that foul trouble, right? Because it's so easy when you just come down with that arm. I mean, the anticipation of the ref is kind of there, right?
Yeah, they want to call a foul when they see you go down, but when you go up, it could be 50-50. They don't know.
Right, and all of a sudden they just see the foul pop up and they didn't see the arm on the contact. So even if you get it from underneath, you probably didn't really see it.
And then next thing you know, Rob has the ball.
Yep, and now he's flying down the floor and starting the next break. And, you're pretty big on TikTok, right?
Yeah,
what's the handle?
Jedi Hoops.
Yes. So as a point guard for him being a rebounder, you just did one with like a big man when he gets the rebound, right?
Yeah.
What was that one?
It was a TikTok with Chica, actually. It's like whenever the big man gets the rebound, they're not supposed to dribble up the floor. You got to give it to the point guard. So me and him did one of those videos. I'm sure I could do it with Rob, though.
Right. Well, and for Rob, he doesn't even have to go and get it. Like, he just gets the rebound and he's ready to go.
Yeah, there's like a little magnet in his hand, actually. And every time the ball comes off the rim, it just goes to the magnet.
Right. Well, it almost looked like that at Sac State. There was one really big play toward the end of the game as Sac State was putting some scoreboard pressure on, and he leapt not once, not twice, but a third time to tip the rebound to him.
Yeah.
Those are some serious ups.
Yeah, that's just what he does. I mean, he thinks he can dunk. If you try and watch him in warm-ups, he thinks he can dunk. But I think he gets higher for rebounds than he does when he tries to dunk.
All right, well, I want to talk about you a little bit more, too, and coming here to Montana State. So you're coming up from Southern California. Now, you went to prep school after high school?
Yeah, I did, yep.
Okay. How was that, the prep school experience?
It was really good. It was definitely needed for me. COVID was kind of during my senior year, so I feel like I didn't get a lot of exposure to different schools, and I feel like I upped my development and a lot of my skills and toughness. That's kind of what going to prep school or JUCO is for.
Yeah.
It kind of puts that extra hustle in you.
Yeah.
So I think it was a really good decision for me.
Okay, and so what brought you to Montana State?
The area and the community. I mean, Bozeman's way different than Agora Hills, if you guys know where that is. Bozeman's way different, but I consider it a hidden gem. I mean, I love this place, and it gets pretty cold in the winters, but other than that, this place it's really cool.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and it's not that cold right now, so this is the time for the LA people to come say what's up.
Yeah.
That chip on your shoulder that comes from the JUCO life and that sort of thing. Why is that? I mean, you're at the prep school. Like where does that really come from when you are developing there?
I think you got to find the right coaches at wherever you go, and they kind of use other players that are going to play at different schools or already at different schools and asking you, do you really think they're better than you? Mm-hmm. And it just instills like you want to be better than them. I don't know how else to say it.
That makes a lot of sense.
It just motivates you and it puts something in you.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, it's fun to see that come out. You said something else too that we've heard from a lot of different people about coming here, and that's the community. When you are on a recruiting visit, I mean, how does the community get shown to you? Do you walk around and just meet people? Like, where does that community come from? How do they highlight that on recruiting?
Especially on my visit, I mean, I was walking around with Sprinkle.
Yep.
And almost everywhere you go, someone would be like, go Cats, or how's the team looking? So I could just tell the community was super invested.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people are already doing that to Coach Logie because you can start to know his face a little bit more. But I think there's just a lot of people who care about the basketball program, especially as we continue to get better. And I don't know, that's what drew me.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's just something that we've heard a lot, and I was interested in kind of how you get to that. You were down the street with Chica on that other video you guys did. We talked about it a little bit with Chica Naduka, the man on the street talking to people. That's a fun way to get into the community, too. How'd that go for you?
That was really fun. We got to, for those of you who didn't see it, we got to interview students on campus, ask them about the Cat Grizz game or other basketball games they might come to. And surprisingly, a lot more people said they've been to games than I had thought. I think people come to the games, they just don't all come at once. Yeah. And so that hurts. Definitely we want to try and continue to get people to come to every game, or students especially, because that's what gets the home games really loud. But that whole video was really fun to film. You got to see more of Chica.
Yeah.
He has a really good personality, but he doesn't always show it. around other people that he doesn't know that well.
Right. We also, we've had Carter Ashe on the show, Mr. Bozeman.
Of course.
Of
course.
Somebody said he was their favorite. They were their favorite
Yeah.
player. How many? Was that the only time, or was it a multiple time thing?
He definitely got the most. I'd probably say 3 or 4, but
Okay.
you can't not say Carter. Everyone loves Carter. So.
I love to hear it. Final thing I want to get with you is the 62-point game you had in high school. Yeah, that's no joke. Tell me about that game. I mean, did the rim just look like an ocean?
It's funny. In warm-ups, I actually remember I didn't shoot that well. I was kind of discouraged by how I shot in warm-ups, so I didn't think this game was going to go like that. But then the first 3 or 4 shots I took went down. I felt really good, so I knew I had to keep shooting, and I definitely forced some shots, but I had to set a record so everyone knew who I was.
Yep.
But it was definitely a really good game for me, and
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened.
That's pretty cool. And you got the picture with the 62 and everything written on notebook paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, all started by Wilt Chamberlain.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. All right, well, Eastern Washington's coming up. Give us a quick key or two just with what you're going to have to do to be successful on Thursday.
They shoot the ball really, really well. They got a bunch of really good shooters, and those shooters are also capable of scoring in the post. So I don't really know exactly how we're going to do it yet, but I'm really confident in what we're going to do.
No doubt. Can't wait to see it on Thursday. Well, Jed Miller, appreciate the time and the insight today.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into some track and field after this. Jaeden Wolff is here after setting a school record this weekend. We're taking a break from Montana's Ribbon Chop House. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
The snow is falling and temps are dropping, Bobcat fans, so it's the perfect time to cozy up with heartwarming soups and comfort food. Elevate your kitchen game and create magic tonight with La Cuisine's premium cookware. Don't forget the secret ingredient, a new top-selling cookbook. Attend a cooking class and you'll learn how to make every meal a slam dunk. La Cuisine is Bozeman's boutique kitchen store, and we can help you create the perfect table with our curated Montana-made and European dining treasures. Discover the ideal blend of style and functionality at La Cuisine, 2405 West Main.
Back for Cat Chat. We are at the Ribbon Chop House. Before we visit with Jaeden Wolff, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Cat Chat.
AM 1450 KMMS, Bozeman, 1340 KPRK Livingston, where Montana talks.
We are back live at Montana's Ribbon Chop House for Cat Chat. We remind you that Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Shop their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Shop in-store at their North 7th Avenue location or online at shop.msubobcats.com. Go Cats. I'm Keaton Gillogly, joined now by Billings native Jaeden Wolff. Jaeden, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing quite well. Thank you for joining us today. I'll have you move that mic up just a little bit for you. Perfect, right there. Okay, so anyway, great weekend for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, so we just had the one of the meets this week at Worthington Arena. It was the dual meet, right? So you had Wyoming and Montana there, right?
Yes.
Okay, and how'd you guys do against Montana?
We beat them, of course.
Yes, we did. Good to hear. And it was fairly convincing, the win?
Yeah.
Good. That's what we like to hear.
It was a big win.
Good. So big win against the Grizz, big win against Wyoming too. So a very strong weekend showing for you guys, and for you in particular, you set the school record, the 60 meters. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about that. What's that mean to you, and how special was that moment?
Well, I didn't even know that this season would be like how it's going now. But we got a whole new coach, and it was a bit of an adjustment for sure with workouts and just adjusting to a whole new training program. But whatever he's been doing has really been working for most of us on the team, so I was really excited after I saw that time on the board.
Right. So when you ran it, did you know you'd run a really good race, like one of your best?
No.
No? So it didn't really feel like one of your best?
No, but that's okay. When you don't – our coach always says when you – feel like you're running slow, you're usually, running pretty good.
Interesting. So you're running slow, you're actually probably running pretty fast?
Yeah, I don't know what he means by it, but he talks about it all the time. I'm like, okay.
Well, it seems like it worked. It seems like that was the case this time. So you ran this in 7.41 seconds. The previous record was 7.49, held by Macy White. She just graduated, right, Macy White? Or
she did.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. So did she reach out? Did you, text her and say, hey, that record's mine now?
Yeah, I actually am her roommate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we live together, and she's been living with her boyfriend in Livingston for the past few weeks, so she gave me a text, and she was super excited and congratulated me and was like, I'll always be rooting for you, so that was super sweet that she texted me.
Yeah, and give us a little context on, 0.08 seconds to win this, and how big of a gap is that for you?
Well, it definitely is a big gap, and it's really hard to PR in the 60 because it's such a short race, and there's not a whole lot of time to improve. So improving by that much was pretty good.
Yeah. You can be a little confident about it. Nobody here's going to stop you. So all right, so a nice big win there, and you also placed 5th all time in the 200 meter as well in school history. So and that was right after the 60 meter, right?
It was. Yeah, it was 30 minutes after.
Okay, so how long is that in terms of the 30 minutes, in recovery? Is that really quick or a normal distance of time?
It's pretty quick. My coach just told me to kind of rest and eat some snacks and do some push-outs 10 minutes before I was going to run, so it was really just kind of a relaxing time.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. All right, so you got that. You got the record, got to the 5th, and you're feeling like you're settling into this new routine with the new coaching staff. Tell me just a little bit about how different that training is. You kind of mentioned just getting used to the new training. What are some of the things that are the most different this year compared to last year?
I feel like our coach this year is really focusing on all of our strengths more than our weaknesses right now. He wanted to really focus on all of our top-end speeds because he thought that was lacking after he was looking at all of our film and everything like that. And then on the endurance-wise, he's been doing a lot of speed endurance, which are the bad workouts where we die and throw up sometimes. But but those are all going really good too.
Right. Walk us through some of the training and stuff you guys do. I mean, what's a typical practice look like for you? You just finished up some practice about an hour ago or whatnot. Walk us through a little bit of what that practice and training is like.
Yeah, so today we had more of a speed endurance kind of day. We had 133s with short rest at full speed.
What's 133?
133 meters.
Okay, so that's the distance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We had that with short rest, and it doesn't sound bad, but when you're running it, it is not fun. But we usually have a few hard days a week, and then other days are more of like a laid back and more like a shakeout kind of day.
Yeah, just kind of get the muscles loose and kind of get out the soreness from the 133s.
Yes.
Tell me about it mentally, right? I don't know. I don't know how many people here are joggers or runners or anybody who does anything physical. You know, it's hard. You hit that wall. And I think it shows even more in track and field than it does other sports, right? Because you are running, you're throwing, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
How do you push through that wall mentally? What are the mental skills to do that?
Yeah, me and my teammate Peyton were actually talking about this a few weeks ago. We feel like our first year, you kind of just have to feel it out. Like, obviously, you're super nervous coming in as your first year. Like, a lot of us don't run year-round for track in high school, and so I feel we felt like our first year, you just kind of feel it out and kind of get used to running, and your body has to get used to running every day. But, yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, and you were somebody, you know, when you were starting to get used to running, you weren't running track as a kid, right? Or like coming up?
Yeah, I did it 6th grade year.
Okay.
Just for fun with my friends, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to try it. And then I didn't do it 7th grade because I was playing softball. And then we moved to Billings, and then softball wasn't during the time when I had moved, so I just decided I would run track.
Right, and you came up from Arizona, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a big softball culture in
Yes.
Arizona. And so you come up to Billings, you go to Billings West.
Yes.
Now, you would have been in the same class as the Dowlers, too?
Yes.
Okay, so are you friends with them and
Yes.
train and stuff with that?
Yes.
All right, so it must be fun to watch them succeed as well.
Yeah, I'm very happy for them.
Yeah, and so are you faster than Taco?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure. There aren't many people that are.
No. He's faster than me, for sure.
Yeah, he's faster than most people, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, can you beat his brother? Can you beat Keaton? He's a little bit of a bigger dude.
I don't know, maybe after he had all of his surgeries.
Right? Oh, yeah.
He
that's
cannot
true.
run.
No.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
this would be the time to
Yeah,
race him.
Yeah.
All right, so coming out from Billings West, you've got those kids over here with you as part of your class, and now running through this year. Here's a sophomore. You guys got Spokane coming up next.
Yes.
What are some of your goals? I mean, you're gonna improve on some of these numbers? You're gonna break your own record?
Well, I would like to run more consistently because it's really hard to PR in shorter events like the 60, but for the 200 for sure. The first time we went to Spokane, so they have like a bank track, so it's different than our flat track
Right,
that we
so
have
it's like
at the
kind of
arena.
tilted,
Yeah.
like a racetrack?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was a little weird running on it last time we were there, so I want to get more used to it because that's where our indoor conference is.
Okay.
So I want to be more consistent.
Yeah. All right. So more consistent, get used to the bank track, and keep beating the Grizz like you did this weekend.
Yes.
All right. I love it. Jaeden Wolff from Billings, who set a new program record this week in track and field. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right. We're taking a break. When we come back, we're talking some women's basketball. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
For every peak, valley, and plateau, for every mishap and every adventure, for every Montanan in every season of life, Bozeman Health is here to deliver care with quality, compassion, and respect. Because we see you as more than the patient you are today. We look to what's on the horizon for you and our community over the decades to come. That's care beyond care. Well beyond Bozeman Health.
With friendly customer service and an outstanding location near Montana State University and the base of the Bridger Mountain Range, Country Inn & Suites by Radisson is the perfect place to begin your Bozeman adventure. Country Inn & Suites offers a hot and delicious Be Our Guest breakfast buffet each morning. Free Wi-Fi is available throughout the property, and we have a business center and meeting rooms. Our indoor pool and hot tub is a great way to relax after a day of fun, and the on-site fitness center will keep your workout goals on track. We have spacious king and double queen suites with a full-size sleeper sofa available, and every room in Country Inn & Suites is smoke-free. Reserve your room today.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up.
Join the Town Pump Fountain and Coffee Club with Pump It Up rewards. Buy 5 of any size fountain drink or coffee and get your 6th free. It pays to be a Pump It Up rewards member. Town Pump, convenient and right down the road.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Rocky Mountain Credit Union has supported Montana State athletics for over 40 years and provides a local credit union for past, present, and future Bobcats. You can have it all with RMCU. Low rates, local banking, a place to start saving, or work on building your credit. Visit your local branch or online at rmcu.net to become a member today. That's rmcu.net. Go Bobcats!
You can always say good morning, but when you're about to enjoy golden biscuits and toasty hash browns at McDonald's, you say good morning.
A good morning is even better with a medium iced coffee for $1.99. Perfect with your breakfast favorites like the sausage McMuffin with egg and golden hash browns. Order ahead on the app to save time. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We are back at Montana's Ribbon Chop House for another edition of Cat Chat. Montana's Ribbon Chop House has been serving Rocky Mountain communities for over 20 years. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude, our commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. We hope you'll be our guest at one of our Montana locations soon, and a great time, of course. To be a guest over here is Tuesday nights, where we talk some basketball. Today we talk some track, and now we are joined by head women's basketball coach Tricia Binford. Coach, how we doing? How we feeling?
Doing great. It's good to be here.
Yes, happy day, a 2-0 week. You had a week at home, a big crowd on Saturday. How was that crowd on Saturday?
Crowds have been fantastic, super loud. Our crowds get into it. That's what I appreciate about them, especially if I'm not happy with something, they're not happy with something. So, no, crowd was fantastic, and ladies played very, very good on Saturday, so great weekend overall.
Yeah, what is that like as a coach? You're on the sideline, and does it feel like you've got a bullhorn? Like when you kind of get amped up, you feel everybody come off? I don't know, what's that like?
For sure. I'm I remember early in the years talking to our fast break club about, okay, if I go like this, that means that's when we want defense. So right. Our crowd is very engaging. They understand kind of when to get on the game, when to kind of silence if we're shooting free throws. But standing at the start, and there's times where come on, kids, we gotta score. They've been standing a long time. So there's a lot of understanding for the game with our crowds, and they've become a factor. I can even look at people in the front row. I know who's going to get into it, who's going to stand. I know who might be saying some things to the officials and who won't. But my son, when he was young, one time he threw keys onto the court. Oops. And he was 2, and it was right after a suspicious call, and the official turned and was about ready to tee somebody up, and then he saw it was a toddler. So anyway, it's always been really fun to interact with crowds.
Yeah, okay, so that means if there's a bad call and maybe something slipped out that you didn't want to slip out, you can just blame it on a 2-year-old?
Yeah, that's right. It was just the toddler.
Yep, toddler on the sideline.
Yeah, it wasn't me. That's right. Yep.
Well, let's dive into this week. We're going to talk with Marah Dykstra in a little bit, who had a monster weekend, 60-54 win against Sacramento State, 70-51 win against Portland State. So 5-3 in the Big Sky, protecting that home floor, and watching that Sac State game the Portland State game compared to the Sac State game, looked like that offense kind of took another step, was a little bit cleaner in that Saturday game. Is that what you saw too?
Well, shot selection was much better.
Yeah.
I'm there were definitely missed threes by us that I'd be we take those every day of the week. And then there were a lot of other shots that we had to remove and kind of change out for Saturday. And we challenged the team. If on paper you're we need a Merritt more shots, we need Taylor Jansen more shots, we need Maddie Jackson more shots, and the team really delivered. They responded, and sometimes that's hard to take as far as volume kids of where we want to be selective and how we want to go through the paint. But the Saturday game plan was we need to dominate in the paint, attack through the zone, through the middle of the paint first, and then we go out, and kids did a great job of it. Yeah,
I thought it was fun watching the way Marah played too on Saturday. Not only in her ball handling, just kind of taking it right to the cup, but finishing through contact. I don't know how many and one she had, but that was a lot.
At least 3, if not 4. And Marah's good. It's good that she's here because we're going to keep reminding her that it's okay to take some more shots because she's always assisting and playmaking for others. And if you look at her statistically, her stat sheet is like splashed everywhere. She actually leads us in assists. And her rebounds continue to climb. It's one of the greatest things that we loved about her recruiting her. She can handle the ball as a forward in the backcourt, helping break presses. But scoring punch, especially with the injuries that we've sustained, even at the beginning of the year, coming off of her team with Team Canada, we knew that she needed to be more of an impact scorer for us. So love that she's responding to that.
Yeah, one of the things, as you mentioned, some of those injuries, one of the things that we kind of touched on a little bit was just obviously all the different rotations and lineups. But do you think when you do kind of finally at some point when, Caitlin Lamardo comes back and you get a little bit more consistent rotation, do you think that will lead to a little more consistency offensively for you?
Well, yeah, I think our game against Montana, you saw a little bit of that rhythm back for us. We were coming off of, NAU, UNC. We didn't have Marah. We got Marah back for that single game there, and then you play Idaho State. We don't have KJ, and then we started to get a little bit of rhythm going into Thursday, Saturday with this home stretch. So once we get KJ back and we have Marah back in this mix, I'm like, that is a rotation that we've had for quite some time. Really the biggest change out would be Ella into that mix, and then Leia gets a few minutes there. It was quite challenging, the road trip with UNC and NAU, removing that post. The guards, we had a little bit more depth, and so I think people saw how impactful Marah was. And obviously when we lost KJ for the Idaho State, we had to learn how to score in other ways without a KJ. KJ is also one of our leading scorers and rebounders, so I think that rotation will make a difference.
Yeah. The other thing you brought up last week was with Caitlin being out, somebody's going to have to step up, score some points, grab some rebounds. One of the people we talked about last week was Ella Johnson, and we thought she might be somebody to do that, and she certainly did on Saturday. 8 points, 8 rebounds. She looked really, really comfortable, like she was in the right spot all the time. It looked like she had a great weekend.
She had a great weekend, and on the defensive end, she's starting to become one of our leading attack people. She's starting to be disruptive, and, we had 5 disruptive clips that we showed them Monday. We call them disrupting primary actions, right? And every single clip I showed was a freshman doing it. So they've been seeing it from the veterans do it in these things. But Ella's very long for being a forward, and so she really is starting to impact on that defensive end. But also, just so everybody does hear me say this as well, we showed her some clips that we want her taking some shots. So that's kind of her next as well. She's been a kid that, has come in. I was supposed to redshirt. Now I'm playing. I'm going to pass the ball. Now she's, gradually each game looking to be a little bit more attack-oriented because she's somebody that I think can pick up some shots as well.
Yeah, I think it's interesting watching the way you have to coach this team because you have such extremes in experience, right? You've got the seniors and the freshmen. Marah's obviously a sophomore, but there's just so many.
We're counting her as experience, yes.
Totally.
So we'll agree on that.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it's such a gap. So what's it like coaching these freshmen where they don't get to just be a role player. They need to be a little more than that. How do you balance the hey, this is what we need you to do, but we also want to make sure we're boosting your confidence? It's got to be a fine line to walk.
Yeah, I guess it's good they didn't come to my practice today because I don't know if I was helping confidence today. I think the big thing is the challenge of elevating, right? So they're taking these steps, and we just want to make sure this step is very slight, and then we take 2 more big steps. And, the next step for that youth in that freshman class is let's eliminate the 3 mistakes by having 1 mistake, and then everybody learns from it and we move on. That's a veteran move right there. And, we made some big strides with that freshman class on Saturday. From the Thursday, we want to continue to make those jumps, but we are going to be pretty demanding and hard because they are playing minutes. And if we have those mistakes splashing in and we have 3 or 4 of them out there, it can really hurt you. So, the more we just remove some of those little mistakes here and there, we're going to continue to make some big strides, and they're definitely responding to that.
Yeah, well, it seems like one freshman that took some big strides was Malia Egan, who got in and had some
Absolutely.
great steals. also had a great game on Saturday, another Montana native. What did she do to earn some more minutes this week?
I think the bottom line is she comes in and plays hard, and sometimes if you just flat out play as hard as you can, we can kind of correct some of those mistakes along the way. But she was super attack-minded on both ends of the floor. She attacks the paint on the offensive end. She's putting a lot of great ball pressure on the defensive end. She can run through some passing lanes. She's very good at attacking gaps off ball. She's very explosive. She's very fast. It's one of the things, when the coaching staff saw her, I'm like, that's what drew us to her, is she can defend like the way we like to defend, and she can run like the way we like to run. And so we want to utilize that skill set. And right now, I think the last couple games she came in a little bit more fearless. Sometimes you come in, you're a little bit timid. You don't want to make that mistake. And I would rather you go hard, let us clean up the mistakes, than not go hard enough and overthinking the mistakes.
Yeah, amazing how many things just take care of themselves when you play hard like that.
Absolutely. It's a simple recipe. I want you so gassed that we have to pull you out, and we can take care of the rest for sure.
Yeah, speaking of the running and the defense, this weekend combined, 25 fast break points, 42 points off turnovers. That seems like the recipe for success.
Yeah, we've been doing a really consistent job of causing mistakes on our opponent, and really where we need to start separating ourselves is we need to continue taking care of the basketball so we can get some possessions there and continue rebounding the ball. Idaho State, we didn't rebound well, and that really showed in our loss. The last two games, we've controlled those possessions, and that's helped us even with nights where we haven't shot it well. And we're going to have to start figuring that on the road, because we're going on the road here very quickly.
Yes.
And that's going to be really important.
No doubt. And against a first-place team in Eastern Washington on Thursday, you guys are sitting at 5-3. They're at 6-1. Give us a key or two in this game on Thursday against Eastern, what they're doing.
Well, number one is we need to win the turnover battle. They're in the top three and forced turnovers. We're number one, so we want to win that battle, and we've got to be able to rebound with them. This team is very good on the glass, on their home floor. They're attack-minded everywhere. They do shoot the three ball well, but the possessions is where we need to start, and the third one would be the three ball.
All right, that's what we're looking forward to. Coach, appreciate the time and the insight today.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Marah Dykstra is joining us next. We're taking a break from Montana's Ribbon Chop House. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
The snow is falling and temps are dropping, Bobcat fans, so it's the perfect time to cozy up with heartwarming soups and comfort food. Elevate your kitchen game and create magic tonight with La Cuisine's premium cookware. Don't forget the secret ingredient, a new top-selling cookbook. And a cooking class, and you'll learn how to make every meal a slam dunk. La Cuisine is Bozeman's boutique kitchen store, and we can help you create the perfect table with our curated Montana-made and European dining treasures. Discover the ideal blend of style and functionality at La Cuisine, 2405 West Main.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
Working from home has definitely put home projects into overdrive. New landscaping, gardens, patios, and fences. But if you're digging, you're contacting 811. Utility lines, including Northwestern Energy's, can be buried even just a few inches underground, and hitting one can be dangerous. The best way to keep you, the community, and your contractor crew safe is by having lines properly marked. Make your request online at least 2 full business days before you want to dig at call811.com.
If you're in need of structural engineering for your residential, commercial, or wireless telecommunications project, Ascent Engineering provides comprehensive solutions for your project's success. Ascent Engineering is now serving the Big Sky Country in southwestern Montana. Whether it's a new residential home, new commercial building, long-awaited remodel, covered outdoor living space, retaining wall, or telecommunications tower, Ascent Engineering is your expert at providing forensics, assessments, or designs. Ascent Engineering is a proud supporter of your Montana State Bobcats. Bridger Brewing is home to award-winning locally crafted beer and pizza and is proud to support all things Bobcat sports. Open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, last beer served at 8 p.m., and located right across from the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. Stop by after the game today to enjoy a cold pint of beer and a slice of made-from-scratch delicious pizza. Dine-in service and online ordering for takeout are both available. Check out BridgerBrewing.com and at Bridger Brewing on Instagram and Facebook, and stay tuned for updates on our newest adventure in Three Forks, Montana.
We are back at Montana's Ribbon Chop House for Cat Chat, our final segment of the day. We saved, of course, the best for last. Marah Dykstra.
Woo.
Marah, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you settling in? We're at the end of January. Ready to rock for the month of February?
I am, yeah. We're having a lot of fun so far, and we're excited to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah. How you feeling? I know you had to miss one game or one or two games, but how you feeling overall now that we're through January?
I'm feeling great. This is coming around the final stretch of season, and we want to finish things off with a bang. And these past two games, we've kind of got the ball rolling on that, and just want to keep the momentum forward.
Yeah, you had the ball rolling, bouncing, and sliding through the hoop on Saturday.
Absolutely.
How'd you feel you played on Saturday?
I felt pretty well about the game, obviously free throws come and go, but overall, I felt pretty good.
Yeah, well, it was kind of crazy, too. You shot 9 of the team's 11 free throws in that game. But, overall, it looked like you were handling the basketball a little bit, really just kind of assertive with it. Is that what you felt?
Yeah, I feel like we were just having fun out there, and, when you're having fun with your teammates and the ball's moving, it makes it really easy.
Yeah. What has been so fun? Why have you guys connected? Obviously, it's a lot of change, some new coaches, some new players, a lot of freshmen. What has made it so fun so far?
We've had a lot of adversity this season on all aspects, a lot of injuries. And I think just the fact that, no matter what's happened with ups and downs, we've just really come together as a group. That part has just been amazing. And so I love these girls just on and off the court, so that makes it really easy to play with them.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Madison Hall, too. We've had her on the show. What was she like in practice before she decided to come back?
She was very assertive with us, and, she's a defensive specialist, and you guys can see it. She's like a leader and queen in charges, and so before she was coming back, she was really harping on us to get our defense together, so we were definitely really happy when she said she was going to come back and take that fifth.
Yeah, what was that moment like when you guys found, how did you guys get told that she was coming back?
She told us, I think it was before our ring ceremony on the football game, and she told us, and obviously excitement broke out of the team. You love a kid like Jack. She's someone who's super consistent for us, and super stoked to have her back this year.
Yeah. Where would you guys be without her and with all the injuries and everything we've gone through? But tell me a little bit about this freshman class. I mean, you're a sophomore, but do you really feel like a sophomore right now?
You know what? We're really young. There's times where it's like I feel like a sophomore. I don't know everything, but you got to step up to the moment and kind of act like you're a senior. But honestly, I feel like our freshman class hasn't been acting like freshmen either. They've been really forced to fit into roles that when we've had injuries, they've been really stepping up. And some of these girls thought they were redshirting, and now they're getting significant minutes, and they're really productive with the minutes. So it's been awesome to see.
Yeah. What are some of the things you feel like you've been harping on with them, or types of advice that you've been giving to the freshman class?
I think just everything with our program starts with defense and effort, hustle, and that's something that they've always given consistently. And we could see they had a lot of steals this past weekend, a lot of hustle plays for us. So that's something that we always harp on. And if you give your 100% effort, you can't make a wrong play.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, I want to talk a little bit about your summer.
Sure.
So you played for the national team again, for Team Canada. You won a bronze medal this year with them.
I did.
Yes. First of all, where is the bronze medal?
It is at home with my family. I have a little box of medals and trophies, so I keep it there with them.
Okay. What does it look like? How big is it? Is it heavy? What is it like?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's heavier than I thought, actually. It's probably about this big, maybe like a crumble cookie size.
Crumble cookie. Great unit of measurement.
But no, it's amazing just to have that in my pocket. We went there asking for podium, and we came back with those results, so it was amazing.
Yeah, and you played a big part in that overtime win in the third place game. Hit a couple of free throws at the end of that. What was the emotion, the atmosphere, the energy like in that game?
Obviously, that game's like a 9-game tournament, and so you're playing back to back to back. So in that last game, everyone was so tired and exhausted, but we knew hey, this is the last game, and this is everything we've been working towards for the past couple months here. So we all just felt really motivated to get the job done.
Yeah, and you did, getting some hardware, which was pretty cool. What were the crowds like? It seemed, on television and stuff, it seemed like it was pretty packed up over there.
Yeah, it was incredible. It's kind of weird there. They play all their games quite later, so one of the last games we played actually tipped off at like 9:30 at night.
Okay, like local time, because you guys were in Spain, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so local time, 9:30 over there?
So super late tip-off, but it was packed. Especially when we played Team Spain, there was a huge amount of people there, and they all had their chants and cheers, and so really intense and fun atmosphere to play a part of.
Yeah, was it a little bit of like a soccer environment?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it was super cool.
Okay, how did it compare? Did you go to a lot of hockey games growing up in Canada? Were you a hockey fan at all?
Yeah, I went to a lot of Canucks games as well as Whitecaps games. We had season tickets for soccer there. So yeah, similar atmosphere, a lot of cheers, a lot of jumping up and dancing, a lot of singing. So kind of fun, even though you're not obviously the home team, but fun to be a part of that.
Right. The other thing I think is interesting, too, as we wind down our time here is just the different styles of play you get to play against, scout against. What was that like? How many different styles of play did you face while you were going through that run?
So many. We were playing so many teams from different continents, and each continent, I feel like, has a different style of play. We played teams from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from North America, South America, and each team's a little bit different, so scouting's especially challenging. You got to shift your focus because you're playing, a team from Africa one day and a team from Asia the next day. You got to completely, shift your defensive strategies and whatnot. So it was really interesting.
Yeah. Was there any country that played a particularly unique brand of basketball that us here wouldn't know about?
I would say when we played Team China and Team Japan, they shot the ball really interesting. It was more kind of like a two-hand, and they did not miss. It was really hard to guard because it was 1 through 5 were just sniping us from the perimeter. So that was really hard to play against.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Marah, we appreciate the time and the insight today. Good luck on Thursday.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, Marah Dykstra, appreciate the time. Thank you, Jaeden Wolff, Jed Miller, Tricia Binford, and Matt Logie. This is Keaton Gillogly saying so long from the Ribbon Chop House. You've been listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
You've been listening to Cat Chat with Matt Logie and Tricia Binford, presented by Montana's Rib and Chop House. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Bobcats Sports Network.